Hi, how are you? I was supposed to read this the other day, and I was supposed to upload my video, but I didn't. So I am going to read this today. Toy Story the second. Can't read, but I am learning to read. So please be patient with me if I cannot pronounce them correctly. Thank you. Sorry for the ripped pages. This is Toy Story. Okay. It says, here, I'll do it this way. Hey, Woody, ready to go cowboy camp? Andy shouted, bursting into his bedroom. Woody was a cowboy doll. He was one of Andy's favorite toys, and that is so correct. His other favorite was a space ranger named Buzz. Never tangled with the unstoppable duo of Woody and Buzz. Lightyear, Andy cried. Linking the toy's arm together, suddenly there was a loud rip. Woody's shoulder had ripped open. Andy's mom suggested fixing Woody on the way to camp, but Andy shook his head. No, let's leave him, he said. Andy handed the cowboy to his mom, who put the doll on the shelf. Sheriff Woody wouldn't be going to cowboy camp after all. Here's a picture. A few days later, Andy's mom began to clean his room. She was having a yard sale and wanted to get rid of Andy's old toys. And Andy's mom grabbed Wheezy the penguin and brought him into the yard. Woody couldn't let her give his friend away. Woody whistled for Andy's dog, Buster. He climbed onto Buster's back, and the two raced outside to save the penguin. But Woody couldn't hold on with the broken arm. He fell off Buster and was picked up by a strange man. The man's name was Al. When no one was looking, he hid Woody in his coat. Then he hopped in his car and drove away. The other toys watched from the window. They had to save Woody. Al took Woody to his apartment. Suddenly, a packing crate burst open. Out popped a cowgirl named Jessie and a toy horse named Bullseye. Yee-haw! It's really you, Jessie shouted. Woody was confused. Why were the toys so happy to see him? Let's show him who he really is, said an old prospector doll named Pete. Jessie turned on an old TV show called Woody's Roundup. Woody could hardly believe his eyes. He was the star. Prospect Pete explained that the Roundup toys had become valuable collectibles. Now that Al had a Woody doll, he was selling the whole set to a museum in Japan. Meanwhile, back at Andy's house, Buzz had figured out that Al was the owner of the local toy store. The toy store set out at once to rescue their friend. As the sun rose, they spotted Al Toy's barn. It was on the other side of a busy road. The toys each picked up a traffic cone and dashed across the street. Inside the toy barn, Buzz found an amazing display of new Buzz Lightyear toys. Each one was wearing a super utility packet. As Buzz reached for the utility packet and hand grabbed his wrist, it was a new Buzz Lightyear toy. The toy that he had caught a Ranger, sorry. He quickly tied Buzz to a box and placed him back on the shelf. Then the new Buzz ran off to join Andy's toys. Meanwhile, the other toys had found Al's office, listened to him on the phone. They realized that Al planned to sell Woody. As the toys climbed into Al's briefcase, Buzz broke free. He followed his friends, but Buzz was being followed too by the evil Emperor, Zurg. Not far away, Woody's arm had been repaired. He looked brand new. He was ready to go home to Andy. I belonged to a little girl once, said Jessie sadly. She played with me every day until she grew up. Then she gave me away. Even the greatest kid outgrows their toys. Woody began to worry that Andy would forget about him too. Maybe it was better to go to the museum. Meanwhile, the new Buzz and Andy's toys had arrived at Al's apartment building. The new Buzz pulled the gate off an air vent for the toys to crawl through. Come on, he said. We've got no time to lose. When the toys reached the apartment, they were excited to see Woody. New Buzz grabbed Woody. Slinky wrapped Jessie and Bullseye up in his collis. Sorry, I can't say that. And Human jumped on the prospector box. Oh, Hammy, sorry. Hold it right there, a voice said suddenly. I was the real Buzz. There's no time to explain. Come on. Woody, let's go. The real Buzz said. But to his amusement, Woody refused. What if his shoulder broke again? Would Andy still want him? As the toys turned to leave, Woody watched a small, smiling boy on the TV. It made him realize how much he missed Andy. Hey, Buzz, wait, he shouted. He started to follow his friends, but the prospector blocked the way. He had spent his whole life in a box, and he was ready for the museum. At the moment the toy heard footsteps, Al was coming. Al packed Woody and the other Roundup toys in a case and dashed out the door. We have to get Woody, Buzz shouted. But as they headed for the elevator, they heard an evil laugh. It's Zurg, gasped Rex. Buzz and the new Buzz Brave fought off Zurg. Panicked Rex closed his eyes and turned away. Twacked! His tail knocked Zurg over. Rex had defeated Zurg. Al was getting away luckily. Mr. Potato had spotted a pizza truck nearby. The toys jumped in and set off for the airport. They found Al at the check-in desk. As his bags thumped onto the conveyor belts, the toys jumped on beside it. Thousands of boxes, bags, and suitcases swept past them, but Buzz kept an eye on Al's green case. Buzz, along the conveyor belt. Finally, he reached the case carrier, Woody. But when he opened the bag, it was Prospector Pete who popped out. Pow! He hit Buzz. Buzz fought back. Soon he had tied the prospector to a passing backpack. Meanwhile, Woody and Bullseye had managed to get out of Al's bag, but Jessie was still trapped inside. Woody jumped onto the plane. He searched the bags until he found Jessie. "Come on, Jessie," he said. "It's time to take you home." Just then, the plane started to move. They had to get off. Woody and Jessie found a hatch and crawled down to the plane's wheels. It was hard to stay on, and Woody slipped. Luckily, Jessie grabbed his arm just in time. Woody's hat flew off, but it was caught by Buzz. He and Bullseye was riding alongside the plane. Woody locked his pull string around a bolt of the plane, then grabs Jessie. He swung down under the plane and dropped onto Bullseye's back. Woody smiled and looked at his friends. "Let's go home," he said. A few days later, Andy arrived home from cowboy camp. When he saw the new toys on his bed, he was thrilled. But he was even happier to see Woody. He couldn't wait to play with all his cowboy toys. Woody and Jessie smiled at each other. They knew they were finally back where they belong. Now, I'd like to thank you for coming and joining, seeing my videos that I am doing of learning how to read. And I'm in my 30s, so don't get me wrong. It's going to be hard for some people, but you know what? You cannot give up. Keep on reading and have a great day. Thank you.